Our next speaker is Brenda Parlee. She's Associate Professor in the Department of Resource Economics and Environmental Sociology. Her talk today draws from her SSHRC Partnership Grant and is titled Tracking Change, Dealing with Complexity in Watershed Governance. Brenda.
Thank you, and thank you to the speakers who preceded me. I'm learning a great deal about all the wonderful work that goes on here at the University of Alberta. So it's a great honor to be part of this event, and thank you for coming and for organizing this. I'll be talking briefly, I'm trying to keep to the 3 minutes, about a new project that we've learned was just funded in the summer called Tracking Change. Can I drink the water? Can I eat the fish? Most of us in this room are completely disconnected from the fundamental questions such as these. Our water flows mysteriously to our faucets, and the food on our table seems to magically appear on styrofoam with little meaning or sociocultural context other than that defined in the IGA flyer. But these questions are a daily preoccupation of Indigenous and other subsistence fishers who live within the Mackenzie River Basin. The Mackenzie is the largest river basin in Canada, winding over 1,000 miles into the Arctic Ocean. The basin comprises an amazing 20% of Canada's land mass. It is undeniably one of Canada's most significant natural resources. Yet Canadian Geographic and other more reputable sources claim that this is one of the most understudied river basins in the world. This is particularly alarming given the pace and scale of change in the region is increasing. You only have to open the newspaper to learn more about the effects of climate change or about the newest kinds of resource development in this area. Local and traditional knowledge, however, can help us better understand some of these messy problems. In fact, the hundreds of Indigenous peoples who have lived in this river basin for thousands of years systematically track change or gather ecological data of various kinds, yearly, seasonally, daily, not because they intend to produce bar graphs or spreadsheets or text people on their phone, but because they intend to, because it matters to their way of life. Harvesters such as Madeline Drybone in this photo, on the bottom left, who I've been very lucky to have worked with since 1995. She's from Lutzelgate First Nation. She has been fishing in the same places, in the same ways, watching the same kinds of indicators or signs and signals of change for generations, since her childhood and before her. The systematic and rigorous nature of the data gathered by elders, such as Madeline, is powerful in its own right, a form of science. However, equally as powerful are the narratives that people share about the significance of their observations and experiences. The close socio-cultural and emotional connections people have to places such as Detsneche on the Lockhart River or Nitainle in the Gwich'in region are what makes the knowledge better than science, arguably. As stated by the late Denisothene elder, who I was honored to work with many years ago, Maurice Lockhart, people who don't care so much wouldn't notice those changes. The Mackenzie is in essence a complex network of socio-ecological relationships in which resources flow, knowledge is produced, and decisions are made. How do the observations of Decho youth about fluctuating water levels in the Northwest Territories intersect with stories and experiences of upstream hydroelectric development in northern BC? How do the concerns about industry spills on the Athabasca River in northern Alberta translate into decisions made in the Sawtoo? What are some of the observations and experiences that people have across the basin that might be similar in nature about complex ecological stresses such as global warming? These are some of the questions that we are collaboratively working to address over the next 6 years with this SSHRC Partnership Grant. We're very honored to have been awarded this grant, and I am thrilled and somewhat terrified to be leading this collaboration with many wonderful colleagues, some of whom are in this room, as well as a myriad of wonderful partners from across northwestern Canada. The outcomes of the project are anticipated to address key questions of governance. Specifically, we hope to fill some of the gap that seems to exist between the experience or the scale at which many resource development and climate change problems are experienced, and scales of decision making, so bridge that gap between the local and global. Research outcomes and activities will strengthen local and regional stewardship of subsistence fishers, educate upstream river users of downstream implications, and learn more together, collectively, about some of the long-term social and ecological implications. We are hoping over the long term that we will be able to open minds as well about the significance of this vast resource of northwestern Canada. I'd like to thank my colleagues who are listed. You need better glasses than mine to read all the fine print. Many colleagues here at the University of Alberta, across Canada, and internationally, as well as key partners listed there, notably Treaty 8 First Nations of Alberta here in Northern Alberta, who's been a critical partner in the development of the grant. So thank you very much.